Well then, Danny, the end of the cup run. Views on this afternoon?
Yeah, obviously disappointed to lose the game. They were clinical. They got one of the best strikers in the National League South, and he proved it today. Ruthless in his moments, and I think that was a difference today. We I think take the goals out of it. I think it was a competitive game between two very good sides, and we've conceded 4 goals, which from our point of view aren't great goals. Good football from them. Obviously, they'll analyse it from that perspective, but from us, we haven't been conceding goals like that this year. And if you do that against a striker of the class of Tony Lee, then you're going to get punished, and that's what happened today. But ultimately, I'm proud of the boys. I think they've come to a really tough place here today and put in a really credible performance.
Yeah, the people sitting around me felt that we gave them a game, and I think that was something, particularly any team 2-0 down with 2 relatively soft goals, heads could go down, but that didn't happen today, and I thought that's a real positive from today's match.
Yeah, we've got good character in the group. We've got good experienced boys, good character, good resilience, and it would have been easy to crumble, as you say, after going 2-0 down. But we were well in the game all the way through it, and so that makes it frustrating. I appreciate the game's probably done at half time and they're making changes and what have you, but we can only compete against what's out there, and I thought we'd done that really, really well.
I had a neutral sitting next to me. Found it difficult to pick out a man of the match out of our team today, because I think everyone put in a shift, as we always expect from this squad, but we had to make some changes. What's the news on the injuries that we may have picked up?
Yeah, that's probably the biggest disappointment of the afternoon, really. Sam Hill's come off with what looks like potentially a hamstring again. Zach Drew's come off, which also what looks like could be a hamstring. So yeah, really not great. And Bakes came off in the first half, which is a reoccurrence of his calf injury. So yeah, those 3 will be out for a period of time. We'll have to get them assessed on Monday and go from there. So from that perspective, that's probably the biggest disappointment from today's game.
That's what happens in football, unfortunately. Injuries happen. So on Wednesday, we've got the back to league action with Bristol Manor Farm. What's the situation? Any players available back to us again after that?
Yeah, we'll have to assess everything. We've got a couple of boys out on loan, so we'll have to have a look at that as to whether we can get those boys back in for Wednesday. We'll have to do a bit of a head count. Get the boys in for treatment on Monday. We'll decide whether we train on Monday or whether we let them have the night off, and we'll get ready. We know it's a tough game. Bristol Manor Farm have started the season relatively well, considering they've had a complete rebuild. I think a lot of people probably would have had them down for dead certs for fighting against relegation, and that's not the case. They've had some great results. I don't know how they got on today against Winchester, but their last result they beat Malvern. So yeah, we're expecting a tough game, young, energetic side, and we've got to recover properly. But like I said to the boys in the dressing room, we've lost 2 out of 12 this year. One against a National League South side where we've come out of it with credit. We've performed really, really well. And if we perform like we've done today on Wednesday, and in the majority of our league games, we'll pick up a lot of points. So we've got to take the positives and move on.
Talking of positives, good following down from Frome today. Gave them plenty of support right to the very end. I was very impressed with their support today as well.
Yeah, no, as always, we got to give thanks to them. They've come down here, travelled in their numbers, and got right behind the lads, even in the tough moments, like they always do. To be fair, they're great in the tough moments and in the good moments. So yeah, we value their support, and we're going to need them Wednesday night. We've got I think we've got a run of home games coming up in October. And we've got to make Badgers Hill a fortress like we have in the past, and like we've started to do this season, and they're key to that. So encourage everybody to come out in big numbers on Wednesday and get behind the boys and get us over the line.
Thanks for that, Dan. Thanks for all the effort in the FA Cup this year, and as I say, the old hackneyed phrase, let's concentrate on the league.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's our bread and butter. That's what we set out to do at the start of the season, is to have a great league run and challenge for promotion. So the distractions of the cup is done, and now it's into the thick of league action over the next few weeks, with games coming thick and fast. So we'll be ready.
Thanks again for your time, Dan. Well done.
Cheers.
Thank you.